Welcome everyone to German Tool Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at the Wera Zyklop all-metal switch lever ratchet. Wera offers 3 styles of ratchets in their Zyklop product line: the speed ratchet and 2 variations of their all-metal ratchet. In addition to the switch lever model, there is also a push-through model that contains a drive key that must be switched in order to reverse the direction. This ratchet, like all of Wera's, is made in the Czech Republic. I am a big fan of the speed ratchet and has become my go-to ratchet, but I currently only have the 1/4 inch drive size. I figured I would give the 3/8 size a try with this style to see how I like it. There is a pretty significant price difference between the speed ratchet and the all-metal ratchet. It is on the order of 40 to 50% less for the all-metal ratchet. There are obvious differences for the price variance, and I may actually revisit the speed ratchet again in the future, as there were a couple of things I missed last time I reviewed it. From the specs in the catalog, we can see that this is indeed a fine-tooth ratchet with 72 teeth or a 5-degree return angle. The length comes in at 220 millimeters with a head diameter of 29 millimeters, so it would be well suited for using it in tight places. Wera provided this nice security tag, which I'm sure there is a practical way to remove it, but after struggling with it for a while, I just cut the entire thing off. Now let's take a look at a couple of distinct features of this ratchet. Those who are accustomed with Wera's screwdrivers will recognize the familiar pattern on the handle. In fact, it even looks like they implement a good part of the shape profile into the handle of the ratchet. The shaft also contains laser etch markings with the Wera name, the model number, and drive size. With it being laser etched, it shouldn't wear off for a while. The other side contains what appears to be a serial number. Wera also included a nice Easter egg by making the switch an actual casting of their logo. The socket release button is quite a bit larger than you would normally see in a ratchet of this size. The button has a convex shape that extends just above the surface of the head. The spring on the button is quite strong, so there shouldn't be any worries about accidental release of the socket. You also notice an ejector pin that extends when you push the socket release button. I'm guessing that this is for a feature that has yet to be released or implemented in a future product line. I have been using this ratchet on a couple of odd jobs over the last few weeks, just to get a feel for it. The first thing I noticed is how comfortable it is compared to my primary 3/8 ratchet, this 30-year-old Craftsman. Overall, it has performed quite well in the short time I've been using it. Now, there were a couple of things that I didn't like about the ratchet. If you notice, there are no screws or other fasteners used in the construction of the ratchet head. I got some conflicting information on whether or not this was a serviceable ratchet, so I went straight to the horse's mouth, Wera's customer service that is, and they indicated that they do not recommend servicing the ratchet. Therefore, it looks like this is one of those no-user serviceable parts inside type of deals, where if you break it, you need to throw it away and get a new one. Even if you could get it apart, I doubt you'd be able to source the parts to replace any broken components. If you need a serviceable ratchet from Wera, then the speed ratchet would be the way to go, as you can buy replacement heads for that ratchet. My best advice is to keep it well oiled, and it should last you a very long time. One strange thing I observed is that this ratchet doesn't lock down on any of the Belzer 3/8 sockets that I own. The socket slips on fine, but for whatever reason the ball bearing does not engage, and therefore the socket is not locked in place. I did check these Belzer sockets on my other 3/8 drive ratchets, and there wasn't any problems getting them to lock on those units. So I'm not sure if there were several standards for the position and depth of that indentation for the ball bearing. I noticed that my Craftsman sockets have 2 indentations, which would lead me to believe there are multiple standards out there. Whilst I was trying this out with those Belzer sockets, I noticed another oddity whereby if you spun the head with the release button depressed, on some occasions the release button would not return to its original position all the way. Out of all the ratchets I have with a push button release like this is the only one that I've seen exhibiting this behavior. I'm not saying it's a big issue, but it was just something to take note that you need to have the socket fully locked before turning the drive. While I prefer the speed ratchet for its versatility, the all-metal ratchet does have one distinct advantage, specifically if you're using it around harsh chemicals that might react with the plastic components on the speed ratchet. The small number of issues I had with the ratchet are mainly related to serviceability and compatibility with some older sockets. Neither of these really take away from the functionality of the ratchet, and therefore it is a good pickup if you don't want to splurge on the speed ratchet. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that look at the Wera Zyklop 3/8 drive all-metal ratchet. Check out the link in the description to the full review. The KC Tool and Amazon affiliate links to this product are also in the description if you feel the urge to pick a set up. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.